Electronic dance music, or EDM, is music that is made with electronic musical instruments and music technology in its production. It is typically produced to be used in an environment centered on dance-based entertainment, such as a nightclub. Therefore, EDM producers create their music with the intention of it being used by DJs and heard in a continuous DJ set. The term includes a multitude of genres, from disco and trance to dubstep and house music. EDM can be said to have started in the 70s with disco music, where artists began to turn to synthesizers and drum machines to create their music. EDM, however, was truly popularized through regional nightclub scenes in the 1980s, and then in the early rave scene of the acid house movement, which started in the late 80s and continued into the 90s. As I said before, EDM producers are mostly heard through DJs and dance clubs. From the 70s to the 90s, these clubs occasionally hired the producer to perform live, but most nights would just have a DJ. By the 90s, EDM performers, both producers and DJs, were starting to perform at an indoor or outdoor music festivals called raves. By the end of the 90s, DJs and producers branched out and were performing at traditional music festivals too. Although throughout the 90s, EDM was popular, as it certainly had a following, it was by no means mainstream or widely listened to, especially in America. Who would expect that just several years later, in 2011, Spin magazine would be reporting that the American dance music scene had finally reached critical mass, with a new rave generation of mainstream consumers having emerged. One article in Forbes, called The World's Highest Paid DJs by Zach O'Malley Greenberg, discussed the rise of EDM. Every so often, the tectonic plates of mainstream musical tastes shift. In the 1960s, there was the British invasion, followed by disco in the 1970s, and the rise of glam metal in the 1980s. The 1990s saw the advent of grunge and the resurgence of boy bands, followed by hip-hop's hegemony in the 2000s. Now, the tables are turning again. Electronic dance music, better known as EDM, has finally surged from its underground roots and into mainstream consciousness. Along with the rise of EDM is the rise of electronic music festivals. Music festivals are by no means a new development. Throughout the 20th century, and especially in the 60s, music festivals were closely linked to many of the definitive moments of pop music and culture. For example, Woodstock Festival was held for the very first time on a 600-acre dairy farm in the town of Bethel, New York. The festival ran for 3 days in the summer of 1969. During this weekend, 32 performing artists played in front of an estimated 500,000 concert attendees. Many regard the Woodstock Festival as the greatest and most pivotal moment in popular music history. Today, electronic dance music has become a major draw on the festival circuit. The live electronic music scene has moved out from the underground clubs and outlaw loft party scene into large theaters, arenas, and even stadiums that typically host major rock concerts. One electronic festival is the Electric Daisy Carnival, a touring rave event inspired by the underground rave parties of the 1990s. This concert is drawing in tens of thousands of attendees. Here at Colgate University, many students also listen to electronic dance music. Around campus, I interviewed several students about their preferences in music and their thoughts on the rise in EDM.
I like all kinds of music.
Just upbeat music, like songs that are maybe like happy and fun songs.
I kind of like everything.
But I think country is my favorite.
So I really like the electric dance music.
You know, alternative house, just, you know, classic rock too.
My favorite genre is EDM, electric dance music. I don't really like slow music that much.
I also like alternative music sometimes. I usually listen to it
When I'm like going out, getting ready.
If I'm going out, I'm ready to go out.
like when I'm getting ready to go out,
I don't know, it depends on the mood I'm in.
To be honest, I listen to it all the time.
when I'm driving.
Like in the morning when I'm tired.
If I'm like studying and I'm super tired,
I always listen to it driving because it keeps me very alert so I can drive well. Anytime, because it's my favorite. My favorite artists are Calvin Harris and Swedish House Mafia.
Fede Legrand, Fatboy Slim,
and Stevie Aoki.
and Armin van Buuren.
and I really like Avicii.
I definitely have, and personally I think it's really awesome.
It's like a lot of music now is like remixed with like dubstep, like electronic music.
I think it's awesome. A lot of people say it actually isn't real music because basically they're DJs like taking sounds and just making patterns and rhythms and beats. Like it may not be the same as having a good voice, but it's like a science. And so I think it's really cool that it's being put on the radio and stuff.
I like it. I like the remixes, like most of them.
I get a lot of my music from blogs like Hype Machine. The song is sick. They feature like house music and dubstep.
And I enjoy that you can now listen to the radio and actually like some of the songs.
It just shows how much music can evolve and change over time. And I just think it sounds really good. It's really upbeat songs that make people feel happy, so I don't have a problem with it at all.
I actually went to Bonner this year, and Skrillex played there, and it was pretty nuts. It was pretty insane.
My friends and I have been to quite a few.
I went to Avicii in Rochester, and I also saw Avicii here on Spring Party weekend.
I went to Resco. I went to EDC in New Jersey, so there we saw a whole lot of people, like Nero, Bass Nectar, Afrojack, Shermanology.
Yeah, I went to Avicii Spring Party weekend, and I thought it was really cool.
And I went to Electric Daisy Carnival at the Meadowlands.
I went to Avicii at Colgate and Avicii one other time. I went to Afrojack this summer again.
Every now and again, it's just awesome to go to a house show and just ball out.
I just think they're awesome events.
I thought they were really fun.
It's basically a giant dance party and everyone is always in a great mood. And we all just have a great time.
At Electric Daisy Carnival, we went to like the worst day, but I still had an amazing time. And at Avicii, both times it was really fun and exciting. Like the music was really great.
Like most concerts are like that, but I just like the spirit at them a lot.
It's just like, I don't know, it just makes me feel good and happy. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
I thought it was huge that Colgate, such a small school, was able to get someone so like on top of the music industry right now.
I thought it was so cool that he came to Colgate because he's a huge name.
Beach is pretty famous, everyone knows who he is, so.
Everyone knows the song Levels. It's like a classic college song, so why not go hear it live from the theater?
It was something that really brought the students all together.
And it seemed like everyone was there, like it really drew the whole school.
The whole school was packed with parents.
Everyone was just super pumped about it and just in a good mood and just having fun.
It was awesome. It was a crazy experience.
I think that the next spring party weekends are going to have a lot to live up to compared to Avicii.
It'll probably not be as crazy and like hyped up.
Because Avicii is one of the top acts, obviously.
I think we should definitely have another sort of DJ that's well known.
I would really like it if they did something with electronic dance music for next year.
It would be cool if we got another, like we got Benassi or an Afrojack or something like that.
And it'd be fun to have DJs interspersed throughout just random events. The Spring Party weekend gets such big hype. It'd be nice to have like a mid-year Spring Party weekend, like WPW.
The upcoming concerts probably won't be as like epic.